Okay, it looks like we're here. Okay, so we have a brand new 2006 or 2009 16-inch MacBook Pro that does not turn on. Now, there's probably a reason why this doesn't turn on. We'll get to that in a second. So let's just go ahead and plug this in the enclosure, and we'll see what this does. We'll get further into this. So this is the new 16-inch. Just to point out some changes, I will talk about some changes on these. So these now have a dedicated keyboard connector. I do like that, instead of running it through the speakers and other nonsense they did. So there's a dedicated keyboard connector. There is dedicated fan cables now, so it's not routed through the keyboard, so I like that. Right, there's, both fans, obviously. Other than that, they're very similar to how the A1990 and A1707 is put together. It has a very similar feel. The Touch ID cable and Touch Bar cables are different. A little bit more fragile, especially here's the Hinge, the new Hinge cable sensor. So this detects the position of the screen. Now, I'd imagine that these are going to make screen replacements very hard. I don't know how it's going to go on these, but this is the new lid position sensor. This is stupid. A laptop does not need a lid position sensor, but it has it there. The trackpad cable and battery looks much of the same as the A1990. The speakers are different from the A1990 and A1706, and they use a totally different connector setup. So with 1706s, you could take a speaker from, a 1990, you could take a speaker from a 1706. It'll work. This is going to be totally different. The battery uses a very similar battery to the A1990. They may be interchangeable. They may not. I'm not sure. But it looks like they may be interchangeable. I have not tested that, so do not take my word on that. The screen connector and Wi-Fi setup is exactly the same, it looks like. Obviously, it's a different screen, but they still go with that. We do not have schematics for this board. It's too new. So we're going to go ahead and plug this in, see what it does. And then we also will be sharing a major update to how things are going with my business and what's going to happen in the coming months, or the coming month, I should say. So we'll get to that in a second once we know about this, or once we get this board tested and see what we're looking at. And somebody told me, I believe this is this is definitely T2. Somebody said it uses a different version of the T2 chip, so I'm going to take off this little covering and have a look at the T2 chip. In a second here. Yep, same, looks like the same. Somebody said something about T3, but I don't think that's true. It's not. So I guess I'm just going to plug in the bare minimum. Like, I don't need too much stuff. I just want USB-C and screen and battery. Yeah, these use a special battery, so I will put a screw in the battery. Do I have a battery screw right here? Nope. Let me go grab one. Wex Rex is here. How's it going? Oh, and I got a new phone. So my BlackBerry I broke 2 BlackBerries in the course of like a month from dropping and liquid damage. So I got the Cat C60, which has built-in thermal imaging. Check that out. FLIR. A little bit older. I don't care about a new phone. I just want something to work and be durable. But that's what I am using. Where is battery screw? Here's battery screw. I never go for the newest tech. I really don't. I don't care enough about my own tech or what I use to go for the newest stuff. Like, I still have a 1st gen Ryzen. My laptop, my ThinkPad is a ThinkPad T440p, which is going to get upgraded. I'm going to get the ThinkPad T14 with the Ryzen 7 CPU and 48 gigabytes of RAM when they release that configuration. It's not quite released yet. But as soon as that comes out, I will be buying that. It'll be about $2,000-3,000 for that, so I'm not looking forward to that. But it'll last me a good 10 years. It's fine. That's connected. Now, I don't think this will even start off my 60-watt charger, because these, I think, require new, like a 97 watt or something. But we're going to try it. So we're just going to plug this in. Almost dropped a $3,000 laptop. That would have been fun and embarrassing. Alright. Alright, so we do get trackpad click. See if we get an image on the screen. These are super hard to tell if you get image. And I do get an image on the screen. This has no backlight, so this is a no backlight issue. So backlight on at least the previous models were FlexGate. So I don't know if they improved that on this model, since this is a brand new 16-inch MacBook. I don't know what they've improved, but maybe we could just look over the board and see what we see. And now we go for the major life update. So here's what's going on. I'm keeping this store open, and I'm opening another one in Studio City, California. The new store is much, much bigger, and it's going to be much, much nicer when it's done. It needs a little bit of work, but it is in a great area that I am getting a decent price on rent, and it's going to put the business in a much better position for growth. So that will essentially change the focus from mail-in based business. So right now we are 90% mail-in. Or 99% mail-in, I should say. Moving down there to Studio City, Hollywood area, we'll move that to most likely 90% retail and 10% mail-in. So it is going to bring a massive increase in new business coming in that is walk-in and retail orientated. And I think that is a better idea, because I'm progressively getting more and more stuff that's screwed with from other stores, and that is going to get worse as the devices get harder to fix, like this thing. You know, people are going to start screwing with them, and that's going to make it harder. So as of right now, I could fully support both stores with the work I get now. However, with the increase of work, it will be amazing, because it will bring in roughly 3 or 4 times what I'm making now, which is going to be very good. I didn't get a notification from YouTube. No doubt. Alright, so let's have a look. We don't have a schematic for this board. We don't know what anything is except for what we know from other models. So we kind of have to piece together what we see from other machines and what, we just kind of have to use our brain and figure out what's what on this board, since we don't really know what's what. Since we don't have a schematic, we don't have a board view, we don't have anything. And this most likely uses a lot of different parts. So we're just going to go over this board and see what we see. So I don't know how it's going to run fully with 2 stores open. I think this location is just going to be a drop-off zone, and the repairs will be transported down there. It's not too far. It's like an hour. But we'll see how it goes, because this store does bring in some retail business, and it could definitely pay for itself. Alright, so we could tell that this is the same CPU V-Core circuit they used on the 1990 and 1706. I don't know what's under here. Let's see. Let's remove this. I don't know what this is right here. It's a shield of some sort, but for what? What's under here? We have to take it off anyway to get to the heatsink area. So they included some shield. This is an EMI shield for something. Looks like they included this to shield the GPU. They are probably having interference issues in testing, so they include this little EMI shield. And there is a new, I believe this is a new ISL 6277B regulator for the GPU. I believe that is a different one. I'm almost certain that is a different one. We're going to save this shield because I don't know what dumb engineers did that required that, but they did something that required a shield over the GPU, so we are going to keep that in mind. Under here is probably RAM, I'm assuming. Yeah, this is the RAM. I'm not going to take this off, but I'm just feeling around, and I could feel the RAM right there. So that is the RAM. There is an ISL, oh, what's this? ISL 92, okay, so it still uses the 9240HI, so that's interesting. And what's this? Now, to the untrained eye, this looks like another circuit on the board, but based on our knowledge from previous boards, we can see that maybe this is the same circuit that's used on other boards. So let's compare this, and these tweezers are pretty messed up. We will roll with them for right now. So this configuration looks like our backlight circuits. We have our boost caps, we have our driver that looks a lot like the drivers used on anything from 2012 and present retinas. We have our backlight MOSFET, our current sensing resistor, our fuse. Not sure what that is. A couple resistors there. Now let's just, for the heck of it, compare this to, let's say, a 1708 board. So, or a not a 1708, a A1708. So 820 00281 or 820 I believe those numbers, don't quote me on that, I believe those numbers are correct. Let's grab one. Here's one. And lovely, it's not on this board. Let's just open a schematic for 1990. Cap on the left is discolored. Yes, it is. You're absolutely right. Alright, let's open up a board view for the A1990, which is an 820-01041. Display capture. Okay. We notice that this area is the backlight, so this is the backlight circuit. We have a different capacitor set up there. That's a bit different from what this board has, but we know that this is similar. So we have our MOSFET. It's in a different area. Those two resistors are, this is all different. So we're going to try and salvage this as much as we can without needing to replace anything, because we don't know what the values of these resistors are. I don't have a donor board for this. It's way too new for anything like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try and salvage this stuff and go from there. So I'm going to use flux. We'll get some, which one? 559. I have a new one. It's a water washable flux. It's not very good. It's good performance, but it's not very good in cleanability. It turns into a hardened just gunk. So I'm just going to use a lot of flux. I'm going to just reflow this whole area, and that's going to let us assess what we need to do and what we don't. Do you need to use that much flux? Probably not, but I do. I'm going to be I can't talk, sorry. I'm going to be ultrasonicking the board after, so it doesn't really matter. We're going to start at a lower airflow because we don't want to blow that flux away, and we kind of want to give that flux enough time to just eat away and clean all that corrosion off. So we're just going to heat at low airflow, and it would help if I put a nozzle on the hot air station. The new store, the disassembly area in the new store will be the size of this whole store, just to put it that. It's pretty big. I'll get to have my own office, own dedicated shipping area, dedicated customer area, when right now it's just like one room. So it's going to be nice, I will say that. Currently in negotiations with the lease, but it's looking good. It's not going to go anywhere. And then I'll have to get the review the lease and get the lease signed and stuff like that. But it's looking very, very good. I don't see it not happening at this point. So we should be able to salvage much of this, but we're just going to let the flux do its work, and then we'll clean it. That should have broken down much of the corrosion. So now I'm going to go in with Q-tip and alcohol, clean it. Then I will fully reflow it. We'll test it, maybe replace that backlight driver. We'll do some touch-ups and everything because there needs to be touch-ups here. But I think that this can be salvaged without much component replacement because we don't really know what any of this is. The backlight driver is probably the same from the older models, though. I can say that. So I will probably go in and throw a new backlight driver on that. I think it may actually be okay though. I just think it got screwed up from all the corrosion. We will check for a short. Don't worry. There's probably not going to be a short though. I will say that. Of course, now that I say that, there's going to be a short. Nope, no short. So what I'm going to do now is put more flux down. I am going to touch up these resistors and everything here. And then I'm going to go for a full reflow. And I just grabbed the junk water washable stuff that's not very good. Oh well. This is Amtech 4300 LF-4300 TF. It is okay. The performance is good. I will say that the performance on resoldering is very, very good. But you'll see in a second why I don't like this. If it does it. If your soaking time is too long, it turns into this like rubberized gunk that you could like string like 2 feet away. It's just... This is a resin-based flux, and other fluxes are rosin. This is resin and also should not be left on the board. Just an FYI. So it'll turn into this rubbery gunk. It's never a short of shorts. I mean, you get shorts on backlights on these, but it's just not... It usually happens from drop. It usually doesn't happen from liquid. Not saying it can't happen, of course, but it usually doesn't. I don't want to damage anything right here because remember, we don't really have another one of these boards. We don't know what any of this is, so I'm being very conservative on what I'm touching and what I'm not. But I think it's gonna be okay with just touch-ups like this. No, you get out of here, bridge. I did not mean to bridge you. Get a different tip. I don't like it because it gets some jobs came back with corrosion even after UC. Try not to use it. Which one are you talking about? The The water washable one, the 4300? I've had 559 cause corrosion too. Any flux can cause corrosion, or has the potential to. Even no clean stuff, so. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. I hate sneezing. The water washable had me crazy. Like 10 jobs came back. Corrosion was that. Yeah, I will not use it anymore then. The ultrasonic did a really good job of cleaning it, so I don't think I'll have any issues. But look at this. Watch what this turns into once it cools. I'll just try and cool it a little bit. Let me see. We'll just see right now. Yeah, it's too hot right now. It's like turns, yeah, it's all too warm, but it turns into this stringy gunk. Like, hang on one second. Alright, sorry about that. Alright, let's get rid of this bridge. I'm really like, the Amtech changed their 559 formula a while ago, and since then it's just not the same. Yeah, but it's still decent. So I'm just going to do a full reflow now, and this is also going to clean off and burn off that flux. And looks like we have one more small area of corrosion right here. That's not bad though. This can be easily cleaned. It's like this. That's all we really need right there. And then this area I'm going to clean a bit, especially over here near the NANs, because this nasty flux is over here. I'm going to get a paper towel to clean that up. I did have a board that I put that flux on, and then it didn't turn on until I cleaned the flux. So yeah, I can't recommend it. I just wanted to try it. We're going to start calling him Hollywood Tim. No, thank you. The goal is work hard, hire good employees, and then I take a step back and don't do board repair anymore. Well, the employees run the company. I think it's possible with the right people. With the wrong people, it's not possible, but that's what I'm going for. Might be able to do it, might not be. But at least it can get to the point where maybe I don't have to come in every single day. That's what I want, because I'm tired. I'm burnt out. It's, you know. But then again, I'll probably go insane without work, too, so. Alright. I kind of made a mess with this, but I think it'll be okay. Let's go ahead and try it now and see what we get, if we get backlight on the screen or anything. Tim needs baboon time. No, Tim doesn't need baboon time. Tim has enough baboons around to deal with. This nasty flux. I hate flux. I don't think I'll have a location in every major city. That's too much stress. And you get to the point, I'm running out of time for that. Like I'm out of time for that. As crazy as that sounds, it's kind of getting late for that to have a location in every major city. This industry is not going to last that long. It's really not. It's not going to last, you know. I just want to get as much money as I can built up, so when that does happen, I don't have to panic to find something else. You know what I mean? Where I'll have, you know, several $100,000, maybe around $1 million in the bank account, where I don't have to worry about struggling to find a new industry. You know, I could take my time and find out something, you know, or find something that I like that would be profitable. Because I'll find something else. I'll always have something to do. It's not like I'm going to go on unemployment and not work. I can never do that to myself. Travis, don't act like you don't know. You're in on it. I know you're in on it. People are sending the store stuffed baboons every single day. And Travis is in on it. And Kiki. All those people are in on it. They're plotting against me. Okay, will we get backlight? Yes, we do. There is backlight. It's hard to see, but there is backlight. Let's see. Can you see a battery icon? Look at that. Fixed MacBook. Fixed 16-inch MacBook. Ultrasonic. And that is done. So this is our very first repair of the new 16-inch 82141 MacBook Pro. So that's about it. So we're going to ultrasonic this, and then this is done. Good to go. Alright, so thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next stream. Probably, so I know there's been a lack of videos. Now you guys know why. I've been very busy preparing for everything here, so yeah, it's been busy. So I don't know how much streaming I'm going to be doing between now and between now and September 1st. I'll try and get a few in, but the presumed date of opening of the new store would be September 1st, so probably around there that's going to be more consistent videos. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And yes, ending the stream just as Teresa got